ready for the 2-2 to Woodson, and here it comes. And it is swung on and missed. And Tom Browning has pitched a perfect game.
Welcome back.
Mine was better.
God, it feels good to be recording together again.
Mine was better.
Don't hit the together again song.
We're together. Oh,
No, don't do that. So, that was your swing and a miss. All right.
I hate
Ed,
you.
man. How you been?
I'm great. How are you?
Your kids good?
Oh, yeah, they're not sick.
I love that.
It's a
I hate
lonely
you.
walk when the Reds don't come out to play, and
You're the
that's
worst.
okay.
Because we're together again. We're together again.
We really are together again.
We're in my basement.
We are.
We're together again.
It's true.
Drinking
You're drinking Coke. Some of us are drinking the bubbly.
We're in the basement again.
You win.
How's it the best? That's the best we've ever started a show.
I don't
think.
believe that.
Okay.
Maybe it is.
Tina's gonna laugh at that one.
Dude,
In her office.
Let's just talk about the Reds.
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
All right, so tonight we have a returning guest. This is our first returning guest, I think, Ed, right?
Yes.
Outside of Mel. I guess
Mel.
Mel's been on a couple times. But we do have Clay Snowden coming back from Locked On Reds, where you can check out all of his work. You can also check him out on Twitter at Clay_Reds. Clay, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and I'm very excited to be back. I had a great time the first time, so I look forward to coming on as much as you all would like to have me on.
Excellent. We appreciate it. Before we we have opening day here in 2 days from the time that we're recording. I think we're under 48 hours. We're well under 48 hours at this point.
Right.
So I know you're excited, and we'll kind of get to some of that excitement, but some big things have been happening here lately in Reds country. And before we get to your thoughts on the state of the 25-man roster, what are your thoughts about the Reds just a few days ago, before everything that went down that we'll get to yesterday, with the Reds moving Nick Senzel down to AAA?
So I don't like it, but I understand it. And it's one of those deals that, if I play, devil's advocate and go on the other side of what I usually think, I can make an argument for both cases. And that's the hard part about it, is because I want to be selfish and say, hey, I want to see the best team that I can see opening day, and that team to me includes Nick Senzel. Now it kind of stalled itself out with him getting injured as well, but that was, he was sent down, then Scooter got injured, and people were, well, Senzel going to come back. But, I would love to see Senzel, because I think he's the best center fielder option to start and field the best team. And in sports, you want to have the best team. So I was kind of upset, but I understand it. The long-term implications of if it's going to make him, kind of mad, like Chris Bryant, like we talked about last time, I'm not sure. So we'll just have to see where that all plays out. But Scott Schebler was batting .361 in the spring. He's going to be the opening day center fielder. Senzel was batting .308. Not like Senzel was struggling, but Schebler really showed that he looked great in spring, and take spring stats for what it's worth. But I think it's okay. I don't think it's as big of a deal as most people are making out to be.
Well, obviously you kind of touched on it there. Nick Senzel got injured yesterday, and even before that happened, Scooter got injured just a few days ago as well.
He broke his manhood.
After Nick was sent down to AAA. Would you have changed anything after we found out that Scooter was injured? I mean, obviously we know that Nick Senzel's the second baseman, and
Right.
you could easily slide him right back in to second base where the plan was initially anyway.
Right. See, I don't think that the Scooter injury would have changed a thing, because the decision to send Senzel down had nothing to do with him playing poorly. Batting .308, playing a pretty decent center. You just saw the raw ability he had. He's ready to play MLB baseball. So him being sent down before Scooter's injury told me this was a service time move. And, you know, the Reds are not in panic mode. They made some really good moves signing Iglesias and Dietrich. So, like, they're okay. They're going to slide Peraza over to second and play Iglesias. And people forget, you know, Iglesias has been a starter in the MLB every year for the past, 9 years. Like, he plays amazing short. He's batting .333 this spring. We know he's mostly a glove guy, but Scooter's injury actually makes this team better on defense, which is kind of a funny spin zone to put. You know, if you have to pick a positive of the Scooter injury, it's the team actually improves on defense. On offense, it won't. But like I said, Dietrich will get more playing time, and like I said last time, I think he's going to be a fan favorite, and I know one of you all said he's going to be your wife's favorite as well, so I guess he'll play more, and she'll have to watch more of that as well, as you tweeted out the picture of him without a shirt on today. I'm sure that helped your case.
That was a great picture. Aaron
I had never seen that picture before. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that is something else.
He's a chiseled man.
Aaron sent it to me, so I tweeted it.
Yes.
So, I know, we're all flustered.
Now we're all flustered over him. Oh, man.
That Derek Dietrich picture. Good Lord. So, like you said, I mean, yeah, we get better in the inner infield. I don't know how I feel about Peraza moving over to second versus being at shortstop. You know, obviously it's a situation where, if I'm not mistaken, he presented to Coach Bell that, hey, I can move. It's not a problem, and I'm here for the team.
Peraza's played a lot of second. He's played a lot more than Iglesias has. And Iglesias, I think what it really is, Iglesias is a next-level defensive shortstop. I think Peraza is a really good shortstop defensively. I think he's a fine. He's a better second baseman defensively than Scooter. So, I mean, really, if you think about it, it may not be ideal to have him at second base, but it's an upgrade defensively from Scooter. So, I mean, you still keep his bat, and you get an upgraded second and shortstop defensively. I don't see it as a big deal.
Now, are there any other differences that, if you were coach, you get to put on the manager's hat for a moment, or the GM's, or whichever hat it is that you want to say is the one making the decisions? Are there any changes you would have made to the final 25-man roster outside of, I think you would have, you've already said, earlier in the podcast tonight, that you would have had Senzel in that final 25.
Right. And obviously the injury now makes this question a lot easier for me to have a bailout and just say no. Right. This morning, Matt Whistler was put through waivers to pretty much say Robert Bob Stevenson will make the 25-man roster. He hasn't been great in the past. I think his leash is extremely short. He pitched pretty well this spring. He's a guy that you would have lost for sure if he went through waivers. Somebody would have taken a chance on a guy who's been a top overall prospect. Matt Whistler, you have a lot better chance of pushing him through waivers. For those of you who don't know who he is, he was acquired as part of the Adam Duvall trade, last trade deadline. So you have a better chance of keeping Whistler. I think that's pretty much what it came down to. Who can we potentially keep if we pass through waivers? I'm not going to lose sleep over losing either one of those guys. So I don't really think I'm not going to stress that big of a deal with any of the moves on the final day of, trying to get the roster together.
You wouldn't have fought for a Sal Romano or Phillip Ervin or anything like that?
The deal with those guys is Phillip Ervin, to me, he projects as a fourth outfielder. I don't think he's a starter. So to me, it's more important for him to be getting everyday at-bats in Louisville than it is for him, assuming Matt Kemp's on the roster and Schebler's on the roster, fighting for a pinch hit here and there. I'm a big believer, if he has options, let him get consistent at-bats and playing time, keep him fresh, because the second a Puig goes down with injury or a Kemp or a Winkler, you're going to need Phil Ervin to come up and be ready. And it's kind of like what we saw with Dilson Herrera last year. They brought him up, and he wasn't getting hardly any at-bats. He was struggling, and when he got at-bats, it's the pressure of, when's my next at-bat? I need to do something big here. And it's just not consistent enough, and you saw what happened to him. It just didn't quite work out. So I'm a big fan of, these people with options. If they can play every day in Louisville, it's better than having them struggle for at-bats.
Or pitches, for that matter, yeah.
Yes, right.
So you're full of a lot of this positivity, and I think we can all hear it because there's nothing to be down about at this point. But inevitably, you've got to have some concerns for this team coming out of Arizona. So what are some of those concerns that you might have?
Definitely the Scooter and Senzel injuries, especially Senzel. I mean, that guy is just, I feel so bad for him. He's just been fighting injury after injury. So that's something we need to monitor as well. Some people were calling, saying, we need to do one of these kind of a very new wave moves like the White Sox did with their top prospect, signing him to like a 6-year deal early before he even makes his MLB debut type deal. Some people were saying do that with Senzel. I don't think you do that yet, just because of the amount of injuries. You really don't want a Homer Bailey. Not that he would make that much money as Homer did, or that type of. You know what I mean? Somebody's injured after injury, and so I'm definitely concerned with that. I know I mentioned this briefly last time, but the potential Puig headache. I love Puig. I really do. And I think he has the potential to be the favorite player on the team, and also one of the least favorite. If you watched the game on Monday night against the Braves, the 7:05 game or whatever it was, he had a play where he didn't slide into third when he should have, and he got out. It was just a weird, his head wasn't in the game play. He had a weird, we've seen several times in the spring, fielding play where he doesn't move, and then he makes a very difficult catch from just standing in the position. Like, just plays that could lead to absolute headaches and people turning on him. I mean, if you've ever read the Reds' Facebook comments, and there's actually a Twitter account that tweets out the funny Facebook comments from the Reds.
That Twitter account is great.
Puig is a guy who could make or break his rep with the Reds by these mental mistakes that he has seemed to make or, very closely make. So that's definitely something I'm one to monitor throughout the year. The last concern I have is really the starting pitching. I know we revamped it, and on paper it looks so much better. And there's a lot of optimism, a lot of Sonny Gray was this away from Yankee Stadium. A lot of Alex Wood has been this. I'm big on Tanner Roark being just a solid guy, but we saw him get rocked in his last spring training outing. Luis Castillo's inconsistency, just us trying to stay healthy. There's just a lot to be concerned about with the starting pitching. It seems all the stars have to align for that. There's not really a definite ace. So it's really something that's kind of shaky to me. It's easy to get excited about a lot of these players, but it's also easy to just kind of look at the other side and be like, it's not exactly a pitching ballpark. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
I mean, I kind of feel like the name Sonny Gray kind of ties it all in. Like, that's pretty much, we're all kind of approaching this entire season with cautious optimism. And I don't know if there's a better metaphor for that than Sonny Gray.
Every time I talk to other baseball people about Sonny Gray, Reds fans come at Sonny Gray with here's what he has done in the past, like he's meeting back up with his old pitching coach, and all these things are true and they're facts, and they can work well. But if you watch Sonny Gray pitch sometimes last year, there's a lot of concern. And I think Sonny Gray is going to be a good pitcher this year. I don't think he's going to be an ace. I think he's definitely somebody who, the Reds are signing him to that deal, and all shows that they really have faith in him. And I think reuniting him with his old pitching coach from college, and Kurt Casale, who was a catcher for him in college, and Caleb Cotham, who's the assistant pitching coach who went to Vanderbilt, getting all these Vandy guys in, it's definitely going to help him. So we'll see if he can return to form that he showed with the A's when he was dominant. So I'm really intrigued to see how the starting pitching all shakes out.
I just love that he said with the Yankees it was all the effing sliders.
Yeah, I love that. He said something along the line. I'm not going to direct quote him because I don't know, but it's something like it's just a stupid spinning pitch or something. Or
yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So, how are you feeling about Luis Castillo getting the ball for the first pitch of this new 2019 season?
I think that this is a move that, when I see it, I look deeper in it. A lot of people are, hey, Luis Castillo's getting the start, but why not Sonny Gray? What I see is this. This keeps every kind of move that's been questioned by Reds fans and some reporters. I just keep thinking of, this is because we are so used to seeing what the Reds' previous managers have done, and we're not really giving David Bell enough credit. I mentioned it last time on the podcast. He's done weird things. Kyle Farmer playing shortstop, playing first, second, third catcher. Joe,
right.
Connor Joe, who we recently lost, but he's done some things, Lorenzen in the outfield, that we just are not used to as people who watch the Reds. So to me, it's one of those deals. He's saying, hey, Castillo, we know the stuff that you have. The issue has been consistency. Here's a move that, if I'm Castillo, I have all the confidence in the world going into the season. I'm the opening day starter for the Cincinnati Reds at my age, younger guy, they are saying, hey, here you go. Here's the ball. Here's a bold move by the manager. I'm going to start the young guy instead of the veteran. Go show us what you got. Prove that you can be an ace. And I think it's a great move. It's just, like I said, just keep speaking to David Bell and how he is as a manager. He's going to make bold moves. And sometimes they're going to backfire on him. But I think a lot of times it's going to be kind of it's going to be a new vibe with the team. It's going to show wow, that's not something that we would have done. We're doing a hit and run right now. Why would we have done that?
Right.
Or we're stealing third. Wow, I think he's going to make some moves that are going to be bold and different. And I think the Reds need that as a team.
Now, am I wrong to draw any parallels to Luis Castillo getting his first opening day start to Johnny Cueto getting his first opening day start?
I would like that comparison. And I'd love if Luis Castillo has a similar career as Johnny Cueto. I think we'd all be okay with that.
I just mean that in the sense when he got his first opening day start, he was kind of unproven, kind of shaky. He hadn't really had that proven track record that he eventually ended up getting. But it just feels, obviously you have the Dominican, and I don't recall where Luis Castillo's from off the top of my head. But, I mean, you have the just some of those ties. But
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to take a risk with a young pitcher. A lot of pitching is mental. A lot of it is. And that's why you see a lot of these veterans stick around so long. They may not have the best stuff, but they're mentally strong, and they know how to get players out. You see a lot of young pitchers be so good and then so bad and back and forth. It's a lot of mental. You have to have a short-term memory. So I think, building confidence of a young pitcher early by giving them the opening day start, it's a lot of pressure, sure, but that's how you're going to build a strong pitching staff, is making sure that when you go out there, you're confident in all the pitchers are confident. So I like it personally. It's risky. It's bold. I like it. It's something new. Bring some spark to the team.
So, getting back to your optimism, what are you most looking forward to about opening day outside of trying out some of those new foods, like the pretzel burger that we talked about last weekend?
Right.
Well, that pretzel burger
I know we're going to touch on the foods right after this, but so I'm going to my first opening day this year.
Congratulations.
So I'm very excited about the experience. What I'm kind of trying to feel out about the team, and I'll probably write an article about this post opening day. I want to see, hopefully they hit a home run on opening day, how the fans react. I just want to get the vibe and energy of the fans for this particular season. I just think that it's going to be one of those deals. I did a poll of, how many more games will you go to this year than you have on average the past 3 years. And people were in the 5 to 10 range, which, if you think about it, a lot of people financially, that's a lot of money.
Right.
To go to 5 to 10 more games potentially, even if it's just a Tuesday game that's $12 or whatever. So people are excited. And I just want to see the fans' vibe and energy towards this team. It's just the excitement is higher than it has been in the past. I think it's a little bullish, a little high right now. I think it would definitely come down a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. But opening day, I'm looking for the first home run, and I'm going to go ahead and predict the first home run being Scott Schebler in his second at bat, because not enough people are talking about the amazing spring that Scott Schebler has had, and not enough people are accepting of him as being the opening day center fielder. Even though I did not want it, I'm totally okay with it, and I think Scott Schebler's going to have a good year.
My mother-in-law's like best friends with Scott Schebler randomly.
That is super random.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's my prediction in the second at bat as well. Not just any home run from Scott Schebler, second at bat home run.
So, what's your outfield projection for the starting?
So actually, I wanted to talk about the outfield. Let me find out. Well, first let's talk about the food, because we mentioned the food.
Yep.
It's my favorite topic.
You're not going to like my food opinion at all. Yeah, so, like, I like trying new stuff here and there, sure. But when it comes, it's usually like if I go to, like, a Louisville Bats game or, like, you know, some minor league game, they always have weird food stuff to try. I like do that there. But, like, if I'm going to the Reds game, I'm more of just, like, the boring hot dog, beer, peanuts, La Rosa slice, maybe, Skyline, sure. But I actually stay away from the soft pretzel. And the one thing that I never want to see somebody order at a baseball game is chicken tenders.
What?
I don't know why. I don't like the chicken tender move at a baseball game. That's just not a good look.
Chicken tender basket with French
fries?
Dip it in your Coke?
What?
You can get a chicken tenders at any restaurant off the kids' menu. Get something more, you know, get nachos or something. I don't know. If I see someone eating chicken tenders at a baseball game, I'm just completely out on that.
You got to get that fry box.
You get that nachos in that giant batting helmet.
The fry box, man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, you know, growing up, it was always, hey, and you still can, obviously, the helmet with the ice cream.
With ice cream.
Now it's like, get this life-size helmet, eat a ton of nachos, and then have this disgusting helmet you have to carry around and take home with you.
No, you go wash it out.
And you know you have to.
You go wash it out in the family bathroom.
Yeah, there you go.
The sinks are bigger in there.
Right.
I'm excited about this.
I'll circle back to the outfield.
Okay.
Which will kind of fall under the it's probably the thing I'm looking most forward to the first few weeks of the season is the outfield. That was going to be my answer. The reason why is because there's so much unknown and so much just like debacle in the outfield right now that is like under the surface. It's kind of like the iceberg with the Titanic. It looks like there's not a whole lot going there, but when you really dig deep, you're like, what is this outfield? There's so many answers. Like, will Puig be hitting bombs but making stupid mental mistakes?
Yep.
Which means, like, do we like Puig? Do we not like Puig? Do we want to sign him to a 3 or 5 year contract? Do we want to let him walk? Do we trade him at the deadline? Like, Puig will be a huge topic. Is Winker getting on base and hopefully playing a decent enough defensive left field? Like, he played center field today in a spring game. What is that about? I don't know. Like, that's interesting. I think Winker will be just perfectly fine, if not great, on offense, getting on base like he should. The defense, hopefully he's decent enough there. Schebler, like, are people going to appreciate Schebler, or are people going to be like, we need Senzel? I've been Senzel guys, you know, but like, Schebler hit 30 home runs in 2017. What if he returns to that? He's been a 275 hitter in the minors, only a 248 in the majors, but, I mean, we all know, most Reds fans now, what Schebler can bring. Is he a guy that gets traded? Is he a guy who's a lefty off the bench? The biggest question, you know, Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp is such this anomaly. I have no idea what to do with him.
Biggest wild card.
I didn't expect him to be here.
Yeah, he batted 290 last year as an all-star. Now people are like, including myself, where does he fit? It does not make sense. He seems like the type of guy that should be playing DH in Cleveland or something. I don't know why. That just seems the vibe of him.
Makes sense.
Where's he going to get at-bats against lefties when you sit Winker, I guess? And then you have Irvin and Senzel just knocking on the door. So there's a ton to be excited about in terms of offense in the outfield, and a lot of concern in terms of defense in the outfield.
Don't forget Taylor
wouldn't
Trammell's
really-
not far behind.
Yeah, Taylor Trammell will be a guy I would not see this year in the outfield,
Right.
but he is for sure knocking on the door for next year. So then, does Puig play his way into a long-term deal? If you want to talk 2020, what do you have? Puig, Senzel, and Winker, where's Taylor Trammell? So there's just so many questions and so many weird things, and it's going to be so chaotic.
Yep.
The trade deadline is going to be wild.
Well, and we have kind of a new rule this year with the trade deadline. It's a hard trade deadline at July 31st.
Right, there's
you
no
can't
August
do
trades, no
no
more
waivers.
Johnny Gomes trades or anything like that.
Right.
Oh, I miss Johnny Gomes.
I was a huge Johnny Gomes guy. I still am. I couldn't care less who he played for after he got traded. I was following him everywhere.
I just loved him wearing his bathrobe around the stadium after they won.
Yeah. I almost want a Johnny Gomes
If I
autograph.
described how many things I loved about Johnny Gomes, it would ruin the rest of this podcast. It would be 2 hours long.
I almost want a Johnny Gomes autograph picture for like $5, but it was going to cost me like $27 to get it shipped to my house, so I didn't buy it, but it would have been sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly worth it, but I wouldn't be upset if I had it.
No, I wouldn't be mad either.
So getting away from Johnny Gomes, so are there any other new rule changes we should be on the look for outside of just the hard trade deadline?
So one thing that they've been trying, and maybe some players saw, or some fans saw, is the runners on second in the extra innings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was watching that game,
So-
and I was super confused because all of a sudden they were going tie game. I forget who they were playing, the White Sox maybe? But it was tie game going into the ninth, and I guess both managers agreed that they were going to start basically a ghost runner starting at second base. What can you tell us about that rule?
Yeah, so with spring training rules, what a lot of people don't realize is the managers can kind of just agree to do different things. Oh, you want to DH this game, yes or no? There's no super hard rules. The runner at second base, I'm just going to read this for people to know. I found this on ESPN because I had no idea exactly how it worked. The runner on second base will be the batter in the order prior to that inning's leadoff hitter, and players removed from the game will be ineligible to return. A runner who starts an extra inning at second shall be counted as reaching on an error for purposes of determining earned runs, but no errors shall be charged. So that was from ESPN. They did this in the minors last year. And when I would go to the games, I loved it. I know a lot of purists are going to be like, that's stupid.
Right.
My whole thing is, if I am a father and son at a game, and we're in OT in basketball, I know, hey, 5 minutes OT, whatever it may be, I'll stick around.
Yep.
This could be exciting. Most likely it'll be over then. In baseball, a lot of times, if you're in the 11th inning, you're going to leave. But if there's a runner on second every single inning, and they're scoring almost every inning, it's going to be I'm staying for the bottom of the 11th because there's a runner on second. Things will happen a lot.
Right.
And it was fun. I go to a lot of Bats games. It was so much fun. And sure, it's strange, and it's not what has been going on for 150 years. But you know what? This sport, I know a lot of people will not like it, but I think it needs some more excitement in ways like this. This is not a way that ruins anything. We're not extending the mound. We're putting a guy in second base to put more, think about the decisions. Do I bunt here right off the bat? There's going to be play to the plate. There's going to be the type of highlights that you see on ESPN that make the game fun. Those will just be generated more. And it could potentially end games quicker. Both things I'm okay with.
Now, is this going to be in effect this season at the major league level?
No, I do not think so.
Okay.
But so these rules usually, what happens with rule changes is they get proposed, they start off in low A and whatever, they move up. And the thing is, I follow minor league baseball closely, but not the ins and outs of it all. And there's never any complaints. The fans never have complaints about the pitch clock was the thing. And then, no complaints there. The rule on second, it seems fine. So I think a lot of stuff's going to happen. A lot of the change will happen probably next year.
the nets down the baseline. That was a huge thing that people were supposed to complain about, and I haven't heard a word about it.
No one gives
no
a
one's
damn.
said anything.
No one gives a damn.
I can now check my
Exactly.
phone and see what happened to Nick Senzel after he got carted off the field.
and not have to worry about protecting
nailed
your
in the
child
head with a baseball. Or a baseball in my giant hat of nachos. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. The netting. I remember the netting down the first baseline. People being like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to ruin my view." I'm like, okay, so Bill Murray, who pays so much money to be right behind home plate, who looks through a freaking net, never had an issue with it. Like, you
Right.
get used to it within the first 3 pitches. Like, my whole thing that I always told people, hey, scouts, they look through a net to
Yep.
scout pitchers. So I think you can handle it.
That's true.
Now, do you think that rule, if it was initiated into MLB, do you think that would skew the statistics for RBIs and that kind of thing?
Sure, it will. Of course, it'll change RBIs. You're going to hit more players and whatnot. But if you think about, how much is it going to change? Like, will Yasiel Puig have 87 RBIs, or if this rule was in case, he may have
90.
89.
Right.
90. How much is that's not going to change contracts really? But maybe there could be some outliers, but no, I don't think it's. If anything, the people that shouldn't win are the pitchers.
That's right.
With stats.
Well, that wouldn't count
But-
as an earned run. It would count as an unearned run, as it was to be scored as if somebody reached on an error.
Right. So even then, that rule change I'm about. The other rule changes I'll just go through really quickly. The other one that I kind of wanted to touch on is the DH coming to the NL, which is something I definitely think will happen. And the third rule, the third rule change is the added 26-man roster, which I love as well.
Okay.
Reason why is mostly because there's going to be one person per team that gets to make major league money and be in the major leagues. I like that. I think the 25-man roster is fine. It did not need to be changed, but having that one extra person of versatility is great, and it leaves kind of a weird position. Like, what if a Michael Lorenzen is in Double-A this year, and he knows that change is coming, and he can focus on being a center fielder, outfielder / pitcher? Like, it's going to bring some weirdness to the game that I'm going to love. That's just like a completely personal thing.
I think eventually you'd see every team looking for a Michael Lorenzen type player who can go both ways.
Kyle Farmer and Connor Joe would have been pitching probably. Who knows? Like, in addition to their 9 positions that they play.
Adam
the
Dunn may
DH
have got a
I
couple more
love.
years in.
Yeah, I love the DH in the NL simply because I'm just tired of seeing pitchers bat 111 and automatic out. And like, I know it's really cool when a guy like DeSclafani hits a grand slam like he did last year. Like, that's fun, but the reason why it's fun is because it absolutely should never be a thing. And you're like, oh wow, that's cool. It will add, while watch AL baseball, you'll see the situations you can play better. You don't have to. It'll change your entire batting lineup, and it also means that Joey Votto doesn't have to play first base until he's, 38 years old or something. So there's a lot of positive. I don't really see as
the
much
purists
negative
could
as some
argue that
people
one
do
too. The purists could absolutely argue that one too. But you can easily compare NL stats to AL stats and see like they're really not that far off. If you're a good pitcher, you're still a good pitcher. If you're a bad pitcher, you're still a bad pitcher. I mean, at the end of the day, you do your job. If you can't do your job, then you shouldn't be up here.
And the people that, MLB is a business. This is, of course it's, a sport. I mean, it's a business. The younger people do not want to watch much more than home runs, and, they're really big on home runs. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if you had to watch, CC Sabathia go up there every day and hit, well, actually, he's a pretty decent hitter. He hit a home run with the Brewers, I remember. But you know what I mean? Like,
Chicks
you'd
dig the
rather
long ball.
see a big-time DH come up and hit a home run than see these struggling pitchers come up and strike out. That's just in terms of fan enjoyment, which is the way they're going with all these other rule changes. Bring in the DH.
I'm okay with it. I'd be excited about
Well, and
it.
I think it goes hand in hand with that rule taking the team from 25 to 26. If you're going to have that DH, let everybody have the DH roster spot. Let you go up to 26. That way you have that roster spot for your 13th pitcher or your pitcher / utility guy, whatever you want to call him, and then you have your DH on the other side.
Super interesting kind of avenue on that. Vanderbilt baseball does this a lot. Now, college baseball has a lot more players than pro baseball on the team. So what they do with their DH spot to start the game in their starting lineup, they put the starting pitcher from the night before as their DH to start the game. The reason why they do that is because whenever his first time through the batting lineup comes out, let's say there's 2 outs and nobody on, you just plug in whoever you would have played at DH. Let's say there's bases loaded with no outs. You play situations. So the guy who pitched last night's obviously not going to play today. Start him at DH. First time around the batting order, when he comes up, you make the substitution with whoever you're going to leave in the rest of the game. But it depends on that first situation, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense, yeah. So you're kind of playing what you might need.
Yeah. But they have a lot more players. But with 26 players, maybe that's something that you'd see happen occasionally. It just opens up a lot of different strategy.
I'd be okay. I really am okay with it. I mean, growing up, all the movies that we watched had DHs in them, and so
yeah,
let's do it.
All right. Well, kind of rounding up here. The question that's pressing, we can't talk enough about Nick Senzel because he's already been a hot topic throughout all of spring. How soon do you think it is before we see Nick Senzel in Cincinnati, especially now given the injury? I believe it's a high ankle sprain. We're looking at, several weeks before coming back. How soon do you think he's going to be here in Cincinnati, especially, they were waiting 16 days. Is the injury going to affect any of that eligibility time? What are your thoughts on that?
So I think it all has to do, they're going to take the time with the injury. Once he comes back from injury, he's going to rehab in Louisville. They'll have to do, if they're going to keep him at center field, which I think they will, they'll have to have him play some, a pretty decent amount of center field in Louisville. But one thing that's kind of a take of mine is this is something that can buy them more time for a 40-man roster spot. Because if they want to bring him in, they have to clear a man on the clear spot on the 40-man roster. That's probably going to be, some like a Robert Stevenson getting designated for assignment because they're carrying an extra pitcher, kind of. But maybe they let it play out more. Does Matt Kemp get traded? Does, whatever they want to do with the outfield? Does someone get hurt? I would imagine if he is healthy, he will be up probably end of April. If all goes well, no setbacks, they find a spot for him. If not, probably 2 weeks after that or so.
So we will see him in spring.
My prediction.
We'll see him in spring at some point.
I would sure hope so. I would be pretty upset if we didn't. If he's healthy, I don't know if he gets another injury during rehab or whatever, but if he is healthy and able to play and he is not up by at the latest, first or second week of May, that's not a good sign, I don't think.
Don't make Clay mad, Reds.
Yeah, I mostly just my whole thing is just with the manager and the GM, everyone's saying, we want to field the best team. We're making these aggressive moves, these weird, strange, non-traditional moves. We're going to put the best team out there. We saw what Nick Senzel can do with the bat. He should be in the lineup.
I bet you.
You don't want to, hold him back. I mean, this is your player you drafted. This is your rebuild player. Number 2 overall pick. He's someone who deserves to be on the MLB roster.
When he actually comes up and he starts playing very well, he's going to be one of those players that management ownership, puts on that can't never cut because he's a fan favorite list. I mean, they seem to do that with Joey and Todd. Not Joey. Well, yeah, Joey. I meant to say Billy.
Well, yeah.
Billy, Todd. Yeah.
When you have a team like Cincinnati, you get homegrown talent. You have to keep them as long as you can. I understand moving Jay Bruce. That was a smart baseball move. He had kind of run his course and his decline was kind of Joey Votto. You don't want Joey Votto playing in another uniform until he's on the very, very much decline of his career and just wants to go for a title.
Right.
Well,
baseball's a lot different than basketball and football when it comes to contracts and all that, keeping players. And so, yeah, there's definitely some strange angles to it.
I mean, I'd love to see them do something with Senzel the same way they did with Suarez, where you sign him way too early and you don't have to worry about him getting into being a perennial all-star before you have him locked up for enough years where getting to the end of this, where he's going through arbitration and all that every year, that's just a waste of everyone's time.
Well, I actually wrote an article about how Alfredo Simon was the most important player in the rebuild of the Reds because we got him off waivers for nothing and traded him for Suarez, and then we signed Suarez. And today there's an article on CBS Sports. I cannot remember the writer, else I'd credit him, but I tweeted about it and give him credit there. And Suarez was the 25th overall player in baseball, according to him. As he put it, the most underrated player in baseball. And look at his numbers and look at how much he gets paid. And I broke it all down in an article you can find on my Twitter page or on Locked On Reds. It's pretty incredible. Look at how much Machado's getting paid and look at how much Suarez is getting paid and just, how much of a difference there is. And you'll be like, whoa,
My guy Clay, one step ahead of CBS. Bang!
Yes, I'm all over it, man. I'm all over the place.
Well, are there any early moves you think we should anticipate this front office making, either to the lineup, the rotation, or the roster via call-ups or trades?
Yeah, I'll go through this really quickly. Blandino, he'll be coming off of injury. A lot of people may ask when he's going to Louisville, I guarantee it. The Iglesias and Dietrich move just mean he'll be in Louisville. He has options. Kyle Farmer is a guy who made the roster just because of the injury to Scooter. He hit a home run today, actually, opposite field, 2-run home run. He's probably going to be the first player optioned down in terms of position players. It's very interesting. We should probably keep an eye on him. Rotation moves, who knows what will happen when Wood gets back. Probably Malley to Louisville seems to be the most likely case. And I want my guy, Jimmy Herger, to come back up, but he got absolutely shoved today. He was awful today and gave up a walk-off grand slam.
Ugh.
But I would imagine he will be up in Cincinnati. Wandy Peralta, the left-handed pitcher who's making the roster, he's just been so inconsistent the past couple of years. I would imagine him and Robert Stevenson don't have a very long leash, so we could be seeing some younger, if they're both on the 40-man, obviously, so they're both guys, could potentially be removed from the 40-man. So someone like a Matt Bowman or a Anthony Bass could get added to Good Springs and have some potential, and those are the type of guys that could be making the first couple moves. But I don't think that there'll be a very long time before the first move's made. Couple weeks probably.
So no Matt Kemp trade on that, huh?
Not in the first few weeks, simply because of the fact that Nick Senzel cannot come up. And
all right. Well, while we got you,
I was hoping you'd ask for that. Since I definitely think Matt Kemp at some point during this crazy weird year will get traded.
I, on the flip side of that coin, am hopeful that Matt Kemp balls out in a Reds uniform, becomes an all-star again this year somehow, some way. And
I would be so happy, and if he does, I would love to come on and just shame myself for this.
I just want to see that this trade goes down in history as one of the most outrageous F. Homer Bailey trades ever.
If we got I can't get started on Homer Bailey. This would go far too long.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say before we let you go here, Clay?
Absolutely not. I'm looking forward to opening day, and thank you all so much for having me on. And if I'll be happy to come on anytime and talk Reds.
Fair enough.
Sounds great.
We thank you for your time, Clay, and until next time, sir. I love having that guy on the show.
He's awesome. We get to a Louisville game this year and shoot him up. No, that's not what I meant to say.
Wildly inappropriate.
I meant to say hit him up and see if he wants to go as well.
Hit him up.
Yeah, that's what
Tupac.
Wow. Okay, I've been listening to too much rap.
You ready to just transition on that note? Good Lord.
Yeah, let's go ahead and transition.
Let's talk some UC basketball.
When you win 25 more games than any team in our league since the inception, we deal Do it this night in and night out, so it's nothing new for our guys. You got to embrace it. When you're the team in the league that's in the finals 3 straight years, you got to embrace it. You cannot react, whether he hit him or not. I'm not clairvoyant. I can't see through people.
That's the only good I can find from last week.
I can't see through people either.
I can't see through people either.
I see dead people.
I can see through a full court press.
So, not as bad as last year.
No, this time we were up
13.
At least 13 in the first
13.
half.
We did blow a 13-point lead.
Yeah. We blew that.
Real quick, another tournament berth, another disappointing blown lead. We were up as much as 13. We lost the game 79-72 to 10-seed Iowa. Before we dig in deeper on UC, your time spent at the game, in the tournament, some of the other final thoughts that I have for the end of the season, I need to make some statements. And there's going to be some people who don't agree with these statements, but I need to get this off my chest.
I don't know what this statement is, so I'll get the beep button ready.
So, here's my opinion. Take it as you will. Cincinnati just is ungrateful as a whole if you look at Twitter. There are so many people so mad right now about literally every coach that we have. They want to fire Mick. They wanted to run Marvin out of town. Don't disagree. 16 seasons, that's a long time. But they're already ready with the pitchforks to run Zach Taylor and company out of town because of signing Bobby Hart. They are already ready to run David Bell out of town after sending Nick Senzel down. Here's the deal. We are a mid-market team, mid-major for college, mid-market for the Reds, and the Bengals are the Bengals. That's not really a news flash. But for the love of Christ and all that is holy, just appreciate what you have. Everybody's ready to run Dalton out of town. Everybody's ready to run Mick out of town. Everybody's ready to run Zach Taylor out of town. Everybody's ready to run David Bell out of town. First off, 2 of those coaches haven't actually coached a real game.
They haven't even coached the game yet.
I don't think it's a secret to those who know me that I don't really love Lance McAllister. And that's fine. It is what it is. He does his job, and you can respect that. I respect that. He does it every day. I don't know that I could put content together every single day. However, I'm going to read something that Lance said that really made me kind of step back and look full big picture. Lance McAllister said, I was curious of the makeup of the Sweet 16 over the last 8 seasons, including the last appearance by the Cincinnati men's basketball team, 2012. 128 spots available, 13 conferences represented, 53 schools made appearances. 6 conferences, ACC, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, Big East. 41 schools, 111 spots. 7 other conferences, the MAC, the WCC, the MVC, the MWC, the ASUN, the A10, and the American. 12 schools, 17 spots. Gonzaga has earned 5 of those 17 spots, so 11 schools have earned 12 spots among the other conferences in the last 8 seasons. Guess who has 8 of those spots?
I want to say it's us.
That's correct. Appreciate what you have. Mick Cronin is not going anywhere.
He's not.
Not unless he actually, he's not getting fired is what I mean by that.
Right.
He may take this Alabama job as
That's a possibility.
He's rumored to be taking this Alabama job. And if he does, you know what, to be quite honest, I wouldn't blame him. Because the fans are assholes.
This is the same situation he was in when he was interviewing at UNLV.
Correct.
Everybody was treating him like he was not a good coach, and I was nervous. I'm like, well, if he's reading anything that's on social media, which
I hope he doesn't.
if you
just turn your tweet alerts off. Don't actually read the retweets.
Mick doesn't read social media.
I can't imagine he does. I wouldn't blame him for not reading it.
His brother does, but we'll see what
His brother definitely
Shout out
does.
to Dan. I love that guy. But if he's reading it, which I hope he's not, but if he's reading anything about this, then if he starts interviewing at some of these big schools, this time he might actually do it. I mean, look how much he's brought. He's brought the program back from the Nancy Zimfer era.
Correct.
He has a brand new arena.
Correct.
He has you said 8.
8.
8.
Well, 9
NCAA
straight.
appearances.
9 straight.
He's put 3, 4. You consider 4, right? SK, JC, Evans, and Kelpane keeps getting time. So he's put 4 players into the NBA.
Are you counting Jaren as one of those 4? Who's JC?
GC, Gary Clark.
Yeah.
So he's put 4 people into the NBA. He's leaving if he decided to leave, he would not be leaving the team and the university in a bad spot at all. So nobody could get mad at him. Like, thanks for not rooting. Thanks for not recruiting like Chris Mack did for Xavier.
We're UC in the American.
Exactly.
We're not going to get 4 stars. We're definitely not getting 5 stars.
I'm getting Samaje. They're all just ringing the bell on Mick Cronin, and it's bothering me.
At the end of the day, Mick Cronin's done a damn good job at doing his job.
So somebody else, I said this, or somebody said it for me, because I read something on Facebook, and I was getting ready to say this, but somebody said it. Winning is not everything that a college coach is supposed to do.
No, he graduates kids.
He graduates players. That's what the university
I see
cares
people talking about bringing Rick Pitino in here. You know what Rick Pitino did? He destroyed a program.
And looks like the same thing's about to happen with Sean Miller in Arizona.
You want that for your team?
Sure
I don't.
Because anytime something like this comes up, we can sit back, look pretty here in Cincinnati.
Because we know we're not
involved.
Yes.
We're not involved.
God.
So, I don't know, man. I mean,
you were there at the game. You saw Kane Broom and Justin Jennifer. Justin Jennifer might have had his best game of the season.
It was a great game. He had a great game. But, yeah.
But you saw them.
I'm in the top row.
Who'd they go hug? They didn't hug their teammates.
Nope, they went and hugged Mick. And they were bawling for Mick. And you know those kids were probably saying sorry to Mick.
Yeah, because they wanted to win
Exactly.
for him.
And everybody talks about Mick sits there in press conferences and just doesn't take responsibility and
Your
blames
brother
everything
says
else.
that.
Well, yeah. So I get Mick's the type that's not going to let everything that's in the locker room come out into the media.
Nor should he.
No, you're right. He shouldn't. And so Mick is going in there and he's probably telling those players, "My bad."
Listen, we have a fiery little Irishman on the sideline.
Mick O'Cronin.
But we also don't have a fiery little Irishman who's going to talk to his players the way Tom Izzo did.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true.
He'll get angry, but he's not berating players the way that the women's basketball coach at NKU did, to where parents are wanting to pull their kids out of the program.
We saw it earlier this year. He cares about we saw it when Trayvon Scott, Trey Scott, he changed his name. Trey Scott could not make it to his graduation. And what's he do? He holds a mini graduation after practice.
Yeah.
Has it videotaped by Dan Horde and everything, so he can still kind of celebrate on that day.
With the people who he wanted to be around.
That's his family, right? That's his family. So don't tell me that Mick is going to...
I don't know that you could do better than Mick Cronin. He's got ties to this city.
Not in Cincinnati, he can't.
He's got ties to this city. He's got ties to this team that go all the way back to all you people who are screaming about Bob Huggins. Who do you think he learned from?
Bob Huggins.
Exactly.
And Rick Pitino, and he's studied under some good coaches.
All the people that you're clamoring for.
Exactly.
Chill out.
Exactly.
Let the dust settle. I understand you're upset. I'm upset. You know what I did? I disengaged and spent time with my wife.
I shut my Twitter down.
I
didn't shut it down. I just put my phone...
I didn't even watch any more basketball.
Inside
I haven't
the glove
watched a
box
single minute of basketball.
I did watch
since,
the UCF game.
Which is fine. I'm not mad at you for doing it. It's just that I didn't. I disengaged.
No, I understand.
It's okay to not let everybody see you going through your raw emotions.
I understand.
I was upset.
There's a... I don't have this now. I'm upset.
I get it.
50,000.
All I'm saying is
disrespect.
I just wish that the people of this town would take a step back and realize that we're not... People keep throwing around this term blue bloods. We were never a blue blood. We were blue collar, but we were never blue bloods. And if you want to go back to Huggins and the Jordan era and all of that, listen, I know we had Mel on here, and I'm never going to ask him this question, ever. But you can't tell me we weren't throwing some money around back in the 90s.
With Nike?
With Jordan?
Nike Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard some stories about Kenyon.
How are you getting Lance? How are you getting Kenyon? How are you getting Kenny Satterfield? How are you getting DeMar Johnson?
I've heard some stories.
I mean, I'm not going to ask any of those dudes that. And of course, people got their theories and everything, but only a couple of people who could have even potentially been involved would know the answers to those questions.
Right.
I'm not going to disrespect any of those athletes or the program that I have my heart near and dear to with any of those questions. No. That's not my business.
No.
It is what it is, and it's over, and unless they're being investigated, I'm not going to be the one investigating them.
Which they're not.
However, appreciate what you got, because the 90s and the days of everyone having a cell phone are here now, but the 90s are long past, man.
Wish I had the song "Can't Always Get What You Want" queued up.
I just wish people would.
Yeah,
we overachieved. At the end of the day, this season we overachieved.
Exactly. Can we please put that out there?
It was supposed to be a rebuild.
I said on this podcast, probably game number 3, that we were going to be an NIT team.
We didn't think we were going to win 20 games.
They played great.
Justin, who writes for them, is sitting in on practice and press conferences and going to every single game, not just the home games like we are.
Yep.
He didn't think they were going to make the tournament.
Which is the reason why I didn't get so upset, because I'm going to be honest with you, 2-hour drive up to Columbus, I was preparing myself for a loss.
I was upset because I had so much time and energy invested in this team.
Yeah.
That was why I was upset. Going to every single home game, I mean, obviously I haven't talked to any of these guys. I don't feel like, these are my brethren where I'm like close and be like, hey man, I appreciate you.
I let other people get me excited that we could go past.
Yeah, sure, because you had big heads talking in the higher ups because they all want to be the one who called it. Like, oh, I called UC going to the Final Four.
And then you got other podcasts out there. One Shining Podcast, I think is it. Xavier wanted to go ahead and tweet them, the Xavier Barstool, and they're talking about how UC comes in every year saying they're mean, they're big and bad, and now they're talking about how we're not mean and big and bad. Get out of here. I mean,
well, we weren't. We lost.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jaren had no legs. He left his legs in the AAC tournament.
Well, that's probably true, 100%. But here's the other thing. I think some of our fans need to calm down too.
Yeah.
For this reason as well. I'm sitting up there. By the way, I'm in the very last row, row Q. Seat doesn't fit me very well, so I'm wedging myself into the seat. And it's 5 minutes left in the game, and on the other side of the pole, so about 4 seats over, there's a pole, and then on the other side of the pole is some gentleman. He's quiet the whole time. 5 minutes left in the game when you know we're going to lose.
Yeah.
No, it's probably even less than that. It was back when they kept doing the reviews, so it was like under a minute. And he now all of a sudden wants to start chirping about Iowa and how they're better and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And you know me, I'm a hothead, so I could have just turned around and just started barking back at that guy.
Old Ed?
Yeah, old Ed.
Old Ed.
But the first thing I thought of was, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. Nothing that I can say right now will shut this guy down because we just lost this game with a 13-point lead. So then some girl 5 rows in front of him turns around, Bearcat fan, and starts yelling at him, just ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, conference champions, ba-ba-ba-ba. So he starts yelling out how they're in, a Big 5 conference and blah this and blah
Big
that.
10,
and I'm like, well, he won there. So let's also not like go and brag about ourselves. We can brag about the team, we can brag about the players, because those players are damn good players. Those players are hella players. Trey Scott's a hell of a player.
Yeah. I can't wait for his next step.
Jennifer, Broom, they didn't come in and play the way we thought they would, but they came in and played the damn hearts out.
Listen.
Like hella players. And
my way too early prediction,
don't say it.
Trey Scott has a better senior year than the Gary Clark.
No, that's not happening. Not
see.
Defensively.
Offensively,
I
don't think he's going to be. He's already not afraid to shoot the ball.
Gary Clark was an defensive. That's why he had a better season.
Listen, he's a great two-way player. I'm just saying, my way too early prediction is that Trey Scott has a better senior year than Gary Clark.
Stewie and I would disagree.
That's fine.
We had the conversation today.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So, just real quick, going over some stats. We had 4 players in double digits. We didn't do that very often during the season. Trey Scott had 10, 7 boards. Nice year Brooks, 11 points, 5 rebounds. He fouled out. That was the difference in the entire game.
That was the nail in the coffin.
Yes.
To quote Dave Lapham, that was the nail coffin, bang, bang, bang.
They knew it, and they went at him, and he started out hot again. And I can't understand for the life of me why they stopped going to him when he's buckets. He literally was making it. Yeah. He was making everything in the first half, and the second half he couldn't get the ball.
But here's the thing.
Well, because he gets tired, and then you got to put Iliel and you got to put Mamadou in. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, get him the ball. He's scoring at will. Jaren had 18. He was 7 of 17 from the field goal, 3 of 9 from 3, 4 assists. 7 of 17 is a horrible stat line, man. He's missing way too many shots. He's looking like Kobe out there with his stat lines.
Kobe.
It's not a good thing. Justin Jennifer finished with 19 points. Kane Broom, he was close to double digits. He had 8, 3 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. That's why he's crying. Trevor Moore, I don't understand why he saw anywhere near as many minutes as he had. He was 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, 4 fouls. I just want him to make a shot. If he's not making shots in the game, what is he in the game for?
Why did he play so much?
I don't understand. When you have I still think that your best defensive player is Logan. Why isn't he in the game?
Yeah. Well, and as soon as Logan came in, shout out to Jason. As soon as Logan came in, he forced a turnover.
Shocker.
Yeah.
As a team, we were 6 of 27 from 3. We were out rebounded. We were out assisted. Not by much, but we didn't win in both. And you gave up 54.7% from the field and 11 for 22 from 3. You're not going to win a game like that. And they didn't hit hard from 3 in the first half. They came alive in the second half. I don't know. Again, in my eyes, it was a team that outperformed all year. We overachieved. Just, unfortunately, we kind of came back to reality in this game.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. It brought us back to where we thought we were at the beginning of the season. And that's not a shot on the guys at all. I mean,
no, it's just you came back to reality.
I'm excited for next year.
Absolutely,
I'm excited to see.
Got every reason to be excited, but you also got to find another person to score outside. Samari Curtis, he's going to be an improvement. I still don't know that he's going to see much more than about 15 to 20 a game. Williams has got to be that guy. Literally, like Kane's going to be gone. Jennifer's going to be gone, so you're going to see a lot more Logan Johnson. You still have one more scholarship if you're looking for a JUCO player, maybe a guard. I know a lot of people are clamoring for guard. Me, I don't want another guard, personally. I'd like to see us find a better center. Not better than Nasir, because Nasir's still the starter.
I think Mamadou might come into that role next year.
If that's the case, then I need Mamadou to put on some weight. He can't back anybody down,
right.
And he doesn't back anybody down.
You're right. Remember, he was not trying to make excuses for him, but remember, he was stuck in his country for a while last year, so he may not be able to get into that gym with the strength coach.
And I know he was a redshirt freshman this year, and that's fine. That's all well and good.
And he eats a lot of chicken.
Hey, he just needs to put on some weight.
Yeah.
Whatever. Work with your trainers. Work with your nutritionists. I know they got all of those on hand. I mean, just figure it out. But you got to be able to body somebody, and you got to be able to back them down in the paint, because that's the difference between him having to shoot that 8-foot J from the side, which is he loves that shot.
Yep.
Where you'd normally be in a corner 3, but he's not stepping out to that 3. No. So he's shooting that 8 to 10 foot corner jumper.
I would have stepped out to that 3 back in the day.
That's fine. But he's shooting that 8 to 10 foot corner jumper, basically, instead of backing somebody down and taking the more high percentage shot. And they'll let him shoot that all day.
Yeah.
So
because you said something and it reminded me, I think before the game, so Thursday night, I think his name is Keenan Singleton, one of the news reporters, forget what station, Fox 19 maybe, I don't remember. He had one of the best interviews and posted it on social media of the players the night before, and I'd like to play that audio for you because it's it'll bring us back to a happy place, I think. So here it is.
Do y'all talk about his chicken farm at all on the team? Do y'all give him any mess about that?
Chicken farm?
You don't know he's a chicken farm?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I didn't know that. Oh, that's a shocker. That's new to me. All that campus want I can eat my food. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I got a lot of
Mama Do's kitchen.
Yeah, a lot of people from campus, like they be come in hanging out with me, so I be cooking for them. I'm the best cook on the team. Oh, hold on. So
Dude could cook, but he cooks some stuff that I'm not really too sure about. So I just be like, yeah, dude, I like it. Like
after me, I will go Elio, Logan, and Nas.
I'm not in the top 3. Oh, disrespect. The next time I pick some food is you can't get a plate. You can't get a plate.
Everyone come through. I got bacon, eggs, waffles, pancakes, French toast, anything.
It sounds like everybody on this team can cook. Who can't cook, I guess.
Who was this?
If I'm gonna have to go with my man right here, LaQuil. Man, I've been trying to teach him, but he cook all my meals right here. I'm going with him. He the best chef on the team. Every meal we make, that's what I eat for dinner every night. So you feel me? I gotta go with my guy.
He's actually Keenan Singleton's from Channel 9.
Who was the deep voice at the beginning?
Nas.
What was that?
Nas.
Nysia Brooks?
And then Trayvon took the mic and started interviewing people.
I thought that was Trey.
So here's Trayvon interviewing people.
How you doing? I'm Trayvon Scott, junior on the UC men's basketball team, and we are in Columbus, Ohio at the NCAA tournament. You know, interview process going on, as you can see around. I'm here with Keith Williams, sophomore guard.
Yes, sir.
So, Keith Williams, tell me, how do you prepare for a game like tomorrow?
Practicing hard, high hands on defense.
The whole time Keith Williams just popping goldfish crackers.
High hands, you know, you got to dig in the post a little bit. You got to play too, you know, help the post. You can't get too focused on the three-pointers. You can't get too locked in on closing in on the defense. You know, you just got to play smart basketball.
Follow me over here, man. Oh, my gosh. So, let's get out of basketball for a minute. Who's the best dancer on the team?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got Rashawn Fredericks over here. Shout out to Island.
shout out to my family back home, my mother, my father. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get that from my boy.
Is that Prince?
There you have it with the Trey Scott Show. See you guys tomorrow.
Was that Prince?
This was Sean Frederick.
Oh,
I had no idea he had an accent like that.
No, I wouldn't have guessed.
I hope they get him in press conferences more next year.
I mean, so next year, you got another year with Fredericks, and I feel like at the end stretch of the season, he started to get more comfortable with the ball in his hands. You know, he's supposed to be a guy who can score. You got Prince Gilliam coming up next year. Our big men are going to be solid if we can get another center, or if Mamadou can put on some weight.
No, you're right. You're right. It's going to be good.
I'm excited about next year. The people who are already talking about if Mick's back, I'm not getting season tickets. Cool. Then I can move up closer.
We'll get a back.
I can't wait to have a back to my seat. Does Jaren stay? He had to make a deep run in order to be a pick, right?
Yeah.
He's not even projected to be drafted right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, he has to stay. In my personal opinion, he has to stay. Now, if Mick leaves, who knows? But in my personal opinion, as good of a player as he is, I think he has to stay another year if he wants that draft.
If Mick leaves, it's because we didn't deserve him.
That's true. I mean, I deserve him. I really deserve Mick, if you want to ask
Just
me.
be better fans.
Yes.
God.
Be better, guys. Be better.
It's not everybody. It's just the vast majority of Twitter was real mean. And the hashtag Fire Mick. That dude needs to chill.
There's a lot of people who need to chill. Especially on the Facebook. I almost created my own Bearcats Facebook page.
I stayed off. I stayed off all that, but
I stayed off until Saturday
Twitter
night.
was real bad.
Twitter was.
Let's talk soccer.
Okay.
Come back! We got more winning to do! Cincinnati is big enough for soccer! Yeah! We are a new city! Do you believe in a new Cincinnati? Cincinnati is big enough for soccer! Yeah! Do you believe in Ryan Geist? New bars! New cities embrace big things! New sports!
Yo, Ed.
Yeah.
How's first place feel?
First place feels really good, actually. It's a spot we're not used to being in here in Cincinnati.
It's really cool to have a team who's doing well in a situation that they're not supposed to be doing this well.
It's not going to last for long.
Listen,
but
I need you to settle down with that.
Let's revel in it. Let's revel in it.
I believe in Coach Koch.
I believe in Coach Koch too, but I'm going to also bring myself back to earth. Where we talked about it already. Everybody knows what I'm going to say. Everybody knows. I know my truth.
So we won at Gillette Stadium. That's something that Cincinnati can't talk about too often.
It's the best a man can get.
In Gillette Stadium, is it? Because there's a giant petition for them to remove Gillette from their stadium.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We won't talk about that. Be better, Robert Kraft. Be better. So we did win at Gillette Stadium against the New England Revolution, 2-0. We are currently sitting in first place, tied with DC United and the Columbus Crew at 7 points. Columbus has played 4 matches, and DC United, I believe, has only played 3, but we are tied with 7 points. That's 2-1-1 for those of you keeping track. That's a winning record. I'm going to butcher these names, good lord. Kikuta Mana scored a goal in the 44th minute.
Forward, see him again, just uses his body so well, Tommy. Safe inside of the 18, crosses it, Kikuta Mane, a late half goal. The orange and blue strike first at New England.
Kikuta Mane! There it is, Mane. You just have to meh.
I just started following him on Twitter.
He scored in the 44th minute, and Kenny Saif scored in the 65th.
Good try.
You have any audio on that?
No.
All right. So I know we've been talking about some of these stats that have helped us win in these games. 53% of the game was possession by New England Revolution, whereas we had 47%. So again, we're right about that 50% mark, which is kind of been where we were. I want to say we dominated last week against.
Yeah, it was 3-0
against Portland. Well, yes, in the score, but I think in the possession.
Oh, in the possession stats.
I think we were like 65-35.
I think
something like that.
You said that.
So we were at 50-50, and I want to say they had statistically they had more shots. 18 shots, 2 on goal by New England. We only had 12 shots, but we were more efficient with 4 on goal, and each team only had 2 saves. We were way better on our offsides, only having 2 offsides, whereas New England had 0. They still got us on the corner kicks with 7, whereas we only had 2. But the stats are starting to fall more in line with at least close to even. I believe even yellow cards were only at like 1-1 or 2-0 or something like that. I think it was just 1-1 or 2-1. No one had any red cards. The good news, we're at home the next 2 games.
Well, we talk about this too.
Well, I was going to say, we fared through this very tough portion of our season at the very beginning. That's not how you want to open a season against Seattle, against Atlanta, against Portland. You got the champion, the runner-up, and Seattle at Seattle. That's tough.
And 3 of our top players were out playing for their country.
They were
for that game. So
they were.
I mean,
and you got the dub.
Next man up.
Got the dub.
That's a term we could bring over from basketball into soccer. Now, next man up.
Now, how many of their players though were in other countries playing as well?
Why you gotta ruin this?
I'm just saying, man. I mean, you gotta be real.
God, you ruined the moment.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Ruin the moment, man.
But we're home for the next 2 games. First against the Philadelphia Union, who currently stand at 1-1-2, and that's going to be on Saturday at 7:30.
Sounds good.
And the game after that, I didn't actually write down.
7:30 p.m. Right?
It's in the p.m. Yes.
I think I should be able to watch that one because our game is at 1:30. So
who's we?
Soccer team.
Because I think there's baseball.
The Orange Silverbacks.
But that's all I got. I think we need to get another FCC insider in here soon to kind of go over some more ins and outs of some of the things that Max. I got my boy Todd.
Oh yeah,
Lindsay.
Yeah,
any of these people.
Yeah.
I got a little bit on the Bengals.
Oh, I didn't pull up a Bengals. Here, let's just do this one.
Hello. It's John C.
Go ahead.
It's not John Cena, but it is Darquez Denard back for one more year.
Woo!
We did re-sign Darquez Denard, cornerback. If you remember from last week, I didn't think we were going to re-sign him. I didn't think he was going to be back.
Actually, up to about 3 hours before he re-signed, there was a lot of people on Twitter who thought we're not going to re-sign him.
That was pretty much a general consensus because bringing in BW Webb, everybody thought that was the nail in the coffin. But we were able to bring him back. I want to say it was roughly about a $5 million deal, and he was asking 10, and he has voiced his frustrations with free agency. So he bet on himself. He lost. Bengals win. That's a good sign.
I like winning.
We also signed defensive lineman Kerry Wynn from the Giants. Again, he comes with the defensive coordinator that came from the Giants as well. So you have that connection there. They're excited to see what he can bring as far as the rotation goes. Bear in mind, though, the Bengals did bring in some defensive linemen last year that they thought were going to be part of the rotation that ended up getting cut once it came down to final cuts. So we'll see if he actually makes the team or not. I'm not really sure. It kind of depends on what they end up doing with the draft here in a couple of weeks. Speaking of the draft, most mocks currently have us taking one of the following: Devin White, Devin Bush, Ed Oliver, Dwayne Haskins, if he somehow falls to us at 11. Who do you want at that number 1 pick, Ed?
Gronkowski.
Yeah, he retired.
Oh, I can't pick him.
No.
Gunnar Kiel.
All right. Well, clearly you've done zero research into any of the mock draft stuff. Accurate.
I'm not confident in this team.
You want to root for the Browns.
I don't want to. I tweeted this already. Am I going to root for the Bengals? Yes. Am I going to be happy about it? Probably not. Am I going to root for the Browns? Yes. Am I going to be happy about it? Probably more happy than I am about the Bengals.
I hate you right now.
They need to do something to prove something to me.
They did. They fired Marvin Lewis.
They got a new coach and then re-signed Bobby Hart.
You don't even know who Bobby Hart is.
He's that guy who doesn't play very well, but we went ahead and re-signed him for a lot of money.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
No, I mean I did. That you didn't know who he is.
We got more winning to do.
What position does he play?
Dude, he plays a guard position.
Does he? Nope.
Defensive tackle.
Nope.
Offensive tackle.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you I get it.
Third try.
Third try's a charm.
Also, there was a new rule that...
Got him!
There was a new rule that dropped today, and coaches can now challenge on pass interference calls.
I like that.
And non-calls.
I like
so exactly what happened in the playoff game where you had the Saints versus the Rams. If I'm not mistaken, all 32 teams actually voted for this rule.
No, I read on Twitter the Bengals actually did not vote for this rule.
Shocker. Shocker. I don't know the accuracy of that statement.
I think Lindsay tweeted earlier that the Bengals did not vote for this rule.
Raise your hand if you're surprised. It's a good rule change. You should be able to challenge some things. At the end of the day, though, I hope they get to a point where they're more like college and less like the pros, where you have people in the booth reviewing things for the coaches. They shouldn't have to review things. You should just get it right and stand behind your product.
Get right the first. No, Lindsay tweeted 2 hours ago, Bengals are getting hammered for voting against this. I agree with him.
With the Bengals?
Yeah, the Bengals.
She agrees with the Bengals?
For voting against the PI call, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm curious what that's about. But in any case, before we move on to rounding third, I believe we have a punctuation pardon.
Oh, we do have a punctuation pardon.
It's been a while since we had one, so feel free to send in anything you think we got wrong, because we do try and actually recognize those things, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on our email. This would be a good spot for us to drop in the read. But
yeah, because we're not trying to pass around fake news here.
No, we just want to be right.
Like so it was Ryan. Oh, I'm gonna mess up your name, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Give it the at.
Gilleen.
What's the Twitter at?
at GILENERM.
Ed's a reader.
It has a UC helmet in the picture.
I dig it.
He said soccer plays at Gettler Stadium along Edwards Road.
So if you listened last week, you know we actually struggled knowing where the soccer team
How cool
played.
would it be, though, if the soccer team did play at Nippert?
There's probably some contractual agreements since the MLS paid to have that stadium returfed.
You're probably right.
For them.
I wonder if So, Ryan, is there any possibility of next year after FC Cincinnati leaves?
Well, they're not going to take their turf with them.
The soccer team.
Yeah, they might move into the stadium at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out. If you got any insider info on that, let us know.
Yeah. New listener, by the way, I think. So, thanks for listening.
New to us.
New to us, at least.
Appreciate it. Let's round third. I wish everyone could see how giddy you were about that entire guitar riff.
It's a good riff, man.
Go ahead, because I know you got a question about it.
I was killing that all day yesterday at work. That's not my first question, but I'll put up here anyways. Have you seen the movie The Dirt yet on Netflix?
Tell me more.
So this is a documentary on Motley Crue, starring a bunch of people. One of them being Machine Gun Kelly, straight out of Cleveland, playing Tommy Lee.
Oh.
Yeah. Good movie.
Does he get to star alongside Pamela Anderson?
Pamela Anderson's not in it.
On a boat?
No.
Have you seen that video?
It that far. Yeah. No, I haven't. But they haven't made it that far. They didn't make it that far.
I'll send you the link.
Show. Don't do that. It's a brand new computer. Prefer not to
I'll
get
send
viruses.
it to your phone.
No, we're not pulling Tina's wedding again. No. It's a great movie if you're a fan of classic rock. If you're a fan of Motley Crue, warning: there is a lot of drug usage in it and a lot of nudity. But great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
And it's a documentary, or like
it's a documentary. Like the members of Motley Crue worked alongside the actors.
Then it's biographical.
Biographical.
It's not a document. Documentaries where they have the actual film from the actual people.
There's Aaron dropping some knowledge on you today
saying.
about the difference between a documentary and a biographical.
Anyway.
Ooh, that was good.
Did Conor McGregor really retire? For real this time?
Is this a publicity stunt?
I mean, Khabib's already shitting all over him.
I mean, who tweets out at 1 o'clock in the morning, "Hey guys, by the way, I'm retiring"?
People who sell whiskey.
That's okay. I mean,
and not good whiskey from all the reviews.
What's it called again?
Like something 12. I can't remember the name of his whiskey, but I have not heard good things about it. I heard by whiskey standards, it's pretty awful whiskey.
Proper 12.
There it
Irish
is.
whiskey.
12, not 13. Damn it.
I wonder what that stands for. I think maybe, I don't know, he's done this before. He said he's retiring from the sport of
29,
mixed martial
right?
arts.
I think he's 29.
That's a great question as
About
well.
the same age. I could be mistaken him and Gronk. I know Gronk was 29.
Oh, I typed in whiskey again. But he's done this before, and he said he's retiring from the sport of mixed martial arts. He actually pointed that out.
So he could go back to boxing.
I think he's going back to boxing. I think he might be trying to get that money again.
There's a bigger pay.
Hey, him versus Adrian Broner.
I mean, let's be real. Dana White is not going to pay him the same that boxing will pay him.
No, they're not.
Even if he's on ESPN Plus as the main card.
Oh, let's not talk about ESPN Plus.
That's being announced tomorrow.
It's supposed to be announced tonight. We might have to pay for ESPN Plus to be able to watch the announcement. Did you see that there's already an error pointed out in MLB The Show? And today's the first day it came out, am I correct?
I bought it at lunch.
Okay. So along the first baseline, up where probably the Champions Club is.
Okay.
Cincinnati Reds. Spelled Cincinnati.
Oh, no.
Yep. That's not how it's spelled.
I hope there's a submission being made for that glitch.
It's probably be fixed by the time you get it open and play it.
I did download. I already installed on my PlayStation, so I can play it later. But I have not yet.
Yeah, somebody tweeted that earlier.
I cracked it open, but I haven't actually got to play anything.
It's actually a new Twitter account I've never heard of before, and I started following them. It's gone.
Should we try and get the dude from MLB, or not MLB? Yeah, MLB The Show, the gamer guy again this year?
Yeah, if you want to try.
Yeah, we tried
to get him for basketball.
We tried to get him, because that was the first year they were doing basketball last year. Maybe we'll try and get him on the show sometime this summer when things are dying down and we have nothing to talk about.
Give it a shot. I mean, it'd be fun.
How did we not talk at all about Aunt Becky last week?
Well, because I was trying to get her to take a test for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, Aunt Becky from Full House got in real big trouble for basically buying her daughter's way onto the crew team somehow. They have a scholarship for the crew team on USC.
Like a rowing team?
Yeah. So, did you not read up on this stuff?
I heard some in the news, like they
got scholarships,
to do tests and stuff like that.
They got scholarships based upon the fact that they were sitting on rowing machines.
This is
and those were the pictures that were submitted, along with I believe, $500,000, so a $500,000 donation to USC. With that all said, Dr. Dre thought he would go ahead and post this week.
Bad timing.
It's fine. Dr. Dre went ahead and posted this week, "Hey, my daughter got into school, and we didn't even have to pay anybody. Ha ha ha."
Then he made a $70 million donation to the library.
Correct. Embarrassing.
He took that tweet. He took that Instagram post down.
He should have.
I mean,
hey, Dr. Dre, you done effed up.
I mean, we've known this is going on, right? It's just now it's been brought to light.
People who are rich buy their way into good things. We won't talk any more about that, but people who are rich, they do all right.
This Mueller report's bringing out everything. All the skeletons are coming out of the closet. No celebrity is safe. Hey, should I get my back waxed again this year?
Ew.
Just saying.
Oh my God. Ew.
We're going to the beach at the end of the month, and
I didn't know you ever actually had your back
we
waxed.
Talked about this.
We?
Yes.
Oh, I have a short-term memory loss.
Yeah, we talked about this.
I think we did on the show, actually.
Yeah.
I probably did the same thing.
You probably did.
It's way gross, but
it's not gross.
You probably should.
I mean,
does it hurt?
Yeah.
I can imagine it probably does.
Yeah. I mean, my back's not that hairy, but it's like enough to make me feel like a little.
Have him get the pits too.
It. No.
In the chest.
No.
Just go full everything above the.
Kelly Clarkson.
Everything above the swim trunk line.
No.
Have him get.
No.
You'll be smooth.
It felt weird, but it felt good.
After the fact, not during.
No.
Just imagine him getting your nipples.
I thought I was going to kick the lady in the face a couple times.
Armpit hair.
Remember the guy in high school had his nipple pierced and he was washing with a washcloth and he ripped the piercing out?
I feel like that's a common story. I don't know. I don't remember a guy at our high school who did that.
It was Vesio. Now I think about it. That's all I got.
All right.
Any guys to get your backs waxed, go ahead and tweet me.
Did you catch the end of the Duke UCF game?
Yes, I did.
What are your thoughts?
If the NCAA could call a charge on Zion Williams sometime this year, that'd be great because
they swallowed the whistles.
My man was straight up.
Taco?
Yep.
Yeah. They swallowed their whistles. There were 3 non-calls. I didn't watch it, but I've heard enough and saw the replays and what have you. There was a push-off. There was a foul in the back of UCF on the rebound.
There was a hook and hold.
Yep. And there was also a foul when the point guard tried to drive to the hoop.
At the very last shot?
Yep.
Yep, there's a foul there too.
Yep.
Yep.
So they swallowed the whistles because, well, it's Duke.
Hell of a team UCF is. I know we talk trash about them
this year because we play them. Because they're a rival.
But they're a hell of a team. I mean...
well, the thing of it is, whenever we get out of the AAC and into an actual Power 5 conference, it's either going to be Houston or UCF going with us. Because I'd like to think that we're one of the top 2 teams to be taken out of this conference.
So.
And it's going to be Houston or UCF. I don't think Memphis is there yet.
I felt bad for Taco Fall. I felt bad for all those players, especially the coach who used to be assistant
Johnny
coach
Dawkins.
for Duke. And afterwards, Duke's coach actually, in his interview, was choked up because he felt bad.
He should feel bad because he shouldn't have won.
That's true too. But and then if you go out to Twitter,
he was consoling. Coach K was actually consoling the UCF players who were crying on the court.
And if you go out to Twitter, and this is going to take us back to the McCroning thing, but if you go out to Twitter and you search UCF's men's basketball page, there's a video that they put together of Dawkins talking to the players in the locker room.
I saw that video.
Hell of a speech, hell of a coach, and Mick's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So all you Mick people, we're not going to get back on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Moving on.
Oh, it's my turn again.
Yep.
All right, so we're 2 weeks into Lent, and we've already talked about the best fish sandwiches. There were the fish sandwiches we were excited for. So what has been the best fish sandwich or fish meal? Sorry for the pop filter. The best fish meal that you've had so far. And I know you're not Catholic, but go ahead.
I'm not Catholic.
So you haven't been eating fish?
Correct.
Okay, well, all right. Shot that one out of the water.
I did have some awesome turkey tacos yesterday, courtesy of my wife.
Turkey tacos actually sound pretty good.
Turkey tacos. Just try substituting some ground turkey, as opposed to the.
Oh yeah, we used to do that all the time.
Ground chop.
Yep, we used to do that all the time.
It's pretty legit.
I'm trying to get back in.
Listen, man, I love me a good fish sandwich. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm actually avoiding the fish sandwich spots right now, especially on Fridays.
Because they're so busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sit in a line wrapped around McDonald's for a fish sandwich.
You're correct.
So,
I by the way, at the basketball game, I had chicken wings. Sorry, God.
I will say, Jimmy John's has a pretty good tuna sandwich.
So at work, I usually get this chicken wrap. It's just chicken with light onion, ranch, wrapped, right? And yesterday they had a fish patty, and I'm like, ooh, what if I put fish in this wrap instead of chicken in this wrap? So this week I might get a little froggy on Friday and try that.
All right.
Yeah. I'll let you guys know how it is. I'll report back.
Let you know how it goes.
I'll let you know.
How are your brackets doing?
Actually, I don't think it's horrible. I'm not winning any money.
Mine are wrecked.
But I'm actually impressed with them.
I had Murray State going to the Elite Eight.
I mean, obviously UC got
I had
killed.
UC going to...
I had Colgate beating Tennessee.
I don't think I had UC going to the Elite Eight, but I at least had them going to Sweet 16.
Which, by the way, I was drinking at a Colgate bar in Columbus. I guess each bar around the arena was designated for a different team. We didn't know this. So we go to the Colgate bar, and this girl sits next to us in Ohio State gear. And
you're like, you're in the wrong bar entirely.
What are you doing?
You're
here?
not UC. You're not Ohio State. Get out of here.
Yeah, and she's like, why aren't you at the UC bar? And I'm like, because we're in Columbus.
Tell me more.
And she goes, our bar over there. And I look over, giant banner. Don't know how I missed it.
Because
said
special.
UC alumni party. I'm like, or a UC
Did you
party
move?
hosted.
Did you at least move? At that
No,
one?
but Luke Fickle came into our bar anyways, so I was drinking with Luke Fickle.
Did you cheers him?
I mean, he didn't see me.
So you didn't drink with him?
I mean, he had a drink in his hand, and I had a drink in my hand. He took a sip. I took a sip. We were drinking together.
Closer than I was.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to get your fingernails painted like baseballs for opening day?
Not ever, no.
No?
I'm not a catcher. That would be the only reason that I would ever get my fingernails painted.
You never got your fingernails painted? Like, you never let your sister do that?
No.
Really?
I think I probably colored them black at some point in, like, middle school when you're trying to figure out who you are.
All right, so your niece comes up to you and says, Uncle, I want to paint
If
your
she
fingernails.
did that, yeah, I'd be okay letting her do that, but I'm not going to ask her for that. No.
Okay.
That's weird.
Hannah, get on it. You get one night.
So...
And then dye his hair white and red like a baseball.
So have you heard about this story that came out today about a Tri-Health family doctor practice over on Cheviot Road?
God, please don't be mine.
That received a dick bomb.
I read a little bit of something about this. I did not read it. What was the practice? Please tell me.
They received a dick bomb. Spring-loaded dick bomb sent to doctor's office causes emotional distress, lawsuit says. I don't believe it actually names the It just says, the medical company says frightening phallus-shaped confetti was sent to their White Oak office on Cheviot Road, which operates as a family medical practice.
It's mine, dude. I bet you.
Dix by Mail operates a website where a person can anonymously send edible gummies and non-edible confetti to third parties. And that comes to you courtesy of Channel 13 WIBW, which I've never heard of.
Brother, it's mine.
Is it?
I just looked up family practice, Tri-Health Family Practice in White Oak on Cheviot Road, and it's the White Oak Family Practice. That's the one I go to.
Well, that link actually looks like it credited Fox 19 for their information. So
I gotta call my doctor and make sure he's okay. Wait a minute, is my doctor have his son working for him now?
Emotional distress for a dick bomb.
Looks like my doctor has his son working for him now.
Phallus-shaped confetti.
I'll tell you what, if my doctor found out who did that, my doctor would beat this dude. My doctor's he's plays
jacked.
Well, he's not jacked, but he played rugby.
There you go.
He's rugby coach at Xavier.
So he's not afraid of anything.
And his daughter, I boxed with her. She beats some money too.
All right.
Yeah. I bet you that it had to have been it.
I think that's all our questions.
I'm gonna call them up.
I think we did it.
How they're doing?
I think we did it.
We did it. We did it. We did it.
Bum of the week.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum. You are a bum.
You're a bum. And that's all you'll ever be. A bum.
Well, that hurts, man.
I'm still shocked by this D-bomb.
I'm not sure if my bum of the week is David Bell or Walt Jocketty or Dick Williams. It might actually even be one of the Castellinis. But whoever made the call to send Senzel down and not call him back up when Scooter got injured to play second base, that's my bum of the week.
That's a pretty good bum.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good bum. Especially because I was waiting for somebody to say that if they wouldn't have sent him down, he never would have got hurt. I was waiting for that one.
That happened all over Twitter.
I was waiting for that one.
All over Twitter.
Matter of fact, I told somebody to call in, especially if they had that one.
I saw.
I actually already gave my bum of the week.
Did
now
you?
that I think about it. Yeah, it was the lady who decided while we're losing in the last minute of the game, she wants to turn around and start talking smack to the Iowa people.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
the young lady, probably a student.
She was not a young lady.
Oh,
she was not a young lady.
Wow, it's getting real out here.
Yeah, that's my bum of the week.
All right,
it's interesting. Keep talking.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Anything, because guess who forgot to bring up the last clip?
Wah wah. So, we're going to do this because we haven't done this in a while.
Got it. Go ahead, read it. Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Because then I don't have to edit that.
Check us out on Facebook, Pardon the Punctuation. Check us out on Twitter, @PTP Podcast Cincy. Check us out on Instagram, Pardon_the_punctuation. You can call us anytime you want with your questions, comments, feedback, and hot takes. 513-818-2077. Don't forget, we're also on YouTube. We got a new subscriber this week.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Uh-oh.
We upload all of our actual recordings to YouTube, so if you don't feel like downloading a podcast app, you can listen to us there.
That's true.
Also, check out our website, www.pardonthepunctuation.wix.com/blog. We're going to start pumping out some more content there, so keep your eyes out there if you want to check out any of our articles. Also, email us with any articles you want to see on our website at pardonthepunctuation@gmail.com. We will check out what it is that you want to submit to our website. Chances are you'll end up there.
Also, don't forget to go to the basketball tournament's website and vote for the Bearcat Jam. Melvin's really trying to push that out there this year.
Friend of the show
is thetournament.com. Just type in Bearcat Jam in all your tweets. Make sure you put hashtag put at Bearcat Jam and then hashtag TBT Rex.
He's already trying to give out a ton of swag as well.
And I'm also trying to start the hashtag Columbus Takeover.
You heard it here first.
That's what I'm trying, man.
With that said, Ed, what's in your fridge?
It is now time for everyone's favorite segment. What is in Ed's fridge? One day I'm going to make one for rounding third, too.
Which one do you want to go with, Bob?
Ooh, can I try that, the cucumber?
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
All right, that's the one we're doing.
Because I got to cut grass this weekend. Oh, I got to use some yard work this weekend. If this one's good, it's going to be a good one.
I forgot to put it in the fridge, so
also,
it's
I'm a huge fan of Rheingeist.
It's still just cool.
I'm a big fan of new bars. New bars.
Cincinnati!
Come back, come back.
All right. So this one is called Calmer with a K. It's by Rheingeist.
Oh, you have this one too.
It's a Kolsch-style ale with lemon and cucumber. So it tastes like your water, but not water because there's alcohol in it. Bing, bang, boom.
It has with lemon and you already said that. All right, let's drink this.
4.8% alcohol by volume, 20 IBU. Calmer than you are, this light-bodied Kolsch-style ale features fresh additions of lemon and cool as a cucumber juices. Liquid Leggero, I don't even know if I pronounced that word right. Never saw it before. Accompanied by notes of honeydew and citrus. The brew abides like the dude abides.
Okay. I'm going to take back my grass-cutting yard work beer because I don't think this is crisp enough for a hot, like if you're out there.
Agreed.
Okay? But I do feel like this would pair well with like a nice brat or a Met or a hamburger right off the grill. I think this is a picnic beer. Like that would taste good with like a cheeseburger with ketchup and mustard and pickles.
Or kraut.
Ooh, it would be good on a beer brat. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is a good grill beer.
It is.
This is a good picnic. Maybe some baked beans.
I don't think I'd want more than
potato
two of these.
salad.
I don't think I'd want more than two of these.
No, this is one you would eat. You would drink while you're eating.
On a hot day, I think I'm still going with something more citrusy.
No, but I'm talking. Okay.
I'm just saying, like a Bud Light Lime or.
I'm just saying, when I drink
Summer
this,
Shandy.
I automatically thought of a cheeseburger or a brat or a Met. Which, you can't get that at the ballpark.
Well, this is what we do for you, folks. We try to help you out with your beer selections.
Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah, that's what I need.
With that said,
you know what? I'm going to have a burger tomorrow.
One more thank you to Clay Snowden of Locked On Reds for coming on the show tonight. We do appreciate it. Other than that, Ed, you got anything else?
I have nothing else.
All right. We did it. We out.